Hello, I'm Emmy, and as you may know if you clicked on this video, the 9th anniversary of Night in the Woods just passed a few weeks ago. Now, as a longtime fan, I really wanted to do something to celebrate one of my favorite games ever made, so in this video I'll be reimagining the four main characters of Night in the Woods as humans, and also doing my best to keep the charm of the original designs. For anyone who doesn't know, Night in the Woods is a story-based game where you play as a little cat lady named Mae as she returns to her hometown Possum Springs after dropping out of college. It's really fun and charming. You get to explore the mysteries of the town and catch up with Mae's old friends who've all grown up while she's away. If you haven't played it, I recommend giving it a go. It's on Steam, or you can watch one of the many playthroughs on YouTube. Here are some of my favorites. Before we start, also please consider hitting the subscribe button so I can keep making videos like this in the future. Let's begin! So first up we have Mae. It made the most sense to me to start with her since she's our main character, and also just because I had the clearest idea of what I wanted to do for her design. I've always liked the idea of her ears being turned into pigtails, and I was really excited to draw them. I should also give you a warning for spoilers ahead if you haven't played the game, since I'm going to be talking about how certain events and character traits influenced my redesigns. As I said, Mae is a 20-year-old college dropout who's coming home for the first time after 2 years away. In the game, she's depicted as a scruffy little cat, which fits really well with her energetic but kind of standoffish vibe. She's got a reputation in Possum Springs as being a troublemaker, and she's also got a history of depression and anger issues that she's trying really hard to repress. She's considered the most immature of the main group, maybe along with Gregg, but that's mainly because she's still figuring out who she is and what she wants to do. Her design in the game has these really nice contrasts in color with the dark blue for her fur and then the orange shirt and yellow and red eyes. Since I can't give her dark blue skin as a human, I opted for giving her partially dyed hair and trying to sprinkle the elements of blue throughout other parts of her outfit. She comes across as kind of scruffy in the game too, so I tried to give her a bit of a grunge style. I obviously kept her iconic stop sign shirt, and then decided to give her layers, kind of like what's seen in some early 2000s old fashion. Since she's running and jumping a lot, I turned her pants into shorts for more mobility, and also just to break up the colors a bit. I threw in some torn fishnets too, since she used to be really good friends with Bee. I like to think that some of Bee's styles would have bled into Mae's, even if they don't talk too much anymore. I also tried to throw in some other fun bits of storytelling into her design. She's got the little tooth that you can collect from the storage room on a necklace. She's also got a guitar pick attached to her bracelet because she plays guitar in the little band minigame. And her sneakers and beanie are a nod to her being a cat in the game. I always just like to give my characters some sort of imperfection as well because I feel like it makes them look like they've lived a bit of a life. So for Mae, I gave her some scars on her face, maybe from a bad fall, along with a little snaggletooth. That one's kind of self-indulgent as someone who is also proud of her own little thing. But that is Mae done. I think she's really cute. I'm really happy with how she turned out. And next up we have Bee, who I will say straight out of the gate is my favorite character in the game and also the one whose design I'm the most proud of. Bee is Mae's former best friend before Mae started hanging out with Gregg. She's kind of a loner archetype of the group. She joins the band once Mae is gone, but she only really hangs out with Angus before she and Mae reconcile. In the game, she's a crocodile, which fits her prickly nature. She contrasts a lot of Mae's impulsive traits by being very grounded and very cynical, and especially being bitter about Mae dropping out of college when Bee didn't get to go at all. Now, before I get into the design itself, there is actually some lore behind this one. I started making this video last year. It was meant to be put out in October as a Halloween thing. Obviously, it's March. That didn't end up happening for multiple reasons. The main one being that halfway through drawing Bee, I got a phone call that my mom had passed away, which, very ironic, considering the character. But I stopped drawing for a bit and immediately made this beautiful image as a way of announcing to my friends what had happened. So if you notice a little bit of a jump in style a little bit later on in the video, that is why. Now back to Bee. The most important thing for me when I was designing her was capturing her alternative fashion in a way that felt unique for Mae's, and also trying to translate the crocodile features in a way that made sense. I'm actually really proud of how I ended up incorporating it. I gave her a mohawk these 3 big spikes to mirror the fins? I don't know if they're called fins, the scales on the back of her head. I also gave her some teeth motifs throughout her outfit, mainly on her sleeves and the bottom of her boots, and a little zigzag in the side of her shaved head. In the game, Bee's palette is also just very monochromatic. It's basically green toned black and some teal, and then a pop of yellow for the eyes. I wanted to stay true to that, but I also wanted to make sure the colors were still visually interesting in my more detailed design. I ended up trying to throw in bits of gold as accent colors wherever I could, and then hope that the tones of the black were different enough that they still looked cool. And of course it's Bee, so she needs her iconic cigarette. I considered trying to get some of the memorabilia for the old pickaxe in her design as well, but I kind of decided that she probably wouldn't want to be tied to it when she's not actually working, so I've just left it out. I've spared her of that. But that is Bee done. I love how she turned out, and I'm honestly a little tempted to try to cosplay her design in the future. By the way, if you like my art, I do also currently have commissions open. There's a Google form attached in the description of the video where you can find all the information and the pricing if you're interested. Next up, we have Gregory, or Gregg. Now, as much as I love him, I probably struggled with designing Gregg the most out of anyone. I'm still not the most happy with the way I executed his design, but I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. Gregg is Mae's best friend from high school, and they're probably the most similar in personality out of the main group. They're both very rebellious and loud, but Gregg is trying very hard to become more mature for the sake of his boyfriend Angus. In the game, he's depicted as a fox, and we see him struggle a lot throughout between his own reckless nature and his want to be a better person. The main thing I struggled with was how to get his fox characteristics in his design in a way that felt unique from Mae or Bee. I didn't want to just give him a hat or something since I'd already done that for Mae, and I decided just to give him some like slightly pointed ears. Either he was born with them or maybe he did them, himself somehow, and a vague kind of fox shapes to his boots and his gloves and the little cuffs of his sleeves. Style-wise, Gregg has his iconic leather jacket in the game, but I also decided to play around with the color and style a bit so that it wasn't just one big block of black. Because of his connection to Angus, I went with some green accents to contrast with the warmer red and orange tones I'd been using. And I also threw in the goggles he wears when he rides his motorcycle, and a little bandana to keep the wind out of his face. Since he's so close with Mae, I also wanted their styles to mirror each other a little bit, so I gave him some similar fingerless gloves and a couple bottle cap pins to match her scruffy style. As some fun bonus details, I made sure his hands were covered in scars from lots of knife fights. The sheep pattern on his shirt is also a reference to the tattoo he has of a sheep on his bicep, but since his arms are covered, I thought it would be a nice way to get that in, since it's so important to why he wants to leave Possum Springs. In the future, I might go back and tweak this art a little bit since I like a lot of the ideas I had for him, and just because I love Gregg so much, but for now, I'm okay with where he's at. And finally, we have Angus. This is probably where you'll notice the biggest jump in style since Angus was drawn 5 months after the rest. I did my best to still keep him in line with the rest of the gang though. Angus is Gregg's boyfriend, and he's a bit of a foil to the rest of the characters. Like Bee, he's more standoffish, but in a way that's very polite and shy. He doesn't show much emotion openly, but he seems to have a lot of passion for his interests like cooking and the paranormal. In the game, Angus is a bear, which suits his dichotomy of being kind of quiet and intimidating, but also very, very caring. Initially, I struggled a little bit with his pose and trying to find a way to communicate his more blocky shape language without making him feel stiff. I tried very hard to make Gregg and Bee feel pointy and for Mae to feel rounder, and I wanted to complete that with Angus being more square to show off his size and his more calm and grounded personality. Eventually, I settled on this sitting pose, and I tried to use his shoulders and his stance to make him look more wide. I also changed the shape of his glasses to match a little bit more. In the original design they're round, but I made them rectangular here. Since Angus is a more shy character, I also made his hair a little bit longer. I like to imagine him kind of ducking his head and trying to hide behind it when he's not feeling the most social. Unlike the rest of the gang, I also wanted to keep Angus's design a little bit more understated. He's not as loud or chaotic as everyone else, and I think he's also very content dressing less loudly too. I kept his simple, iconic green sweater, but I also added some star motifs to his pants and shirt as a reference to his interest in astrology, and also his really lovely quote about a universe that doesn't care and people who do. I did forget to include his hat in the line art, which I am very, very sorry about. I will never forgive myself. I still think he looks cute without it though. And this is the final design for Angus. So that is our 4 main characters of Night in the Woods reimagined as humans. I had a lot of fun working on these, and I plan to make more videos like this in the future. Let me know in the comments which design is your favorite, and also just which character is your favorite, because I'm really interested. I might even do a part 2 with some of the other characters like Selmer's, maybe Casey, Mae's parents, or other residents of Possum Springs. So if you're interested in seeing more of that, please make sure to like and subscribe so that you will see stuff that I make in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and happy 9 years!